Hi, this is Dave and welcome to the Table, a series of videos where I review and discuss various board and card games, looking at them from a family perspective. And today we're going to be taking a look at Stockpile from Nauvoo Games. Now this is a stock market trading game for 2 to 5 players. It uses an auction mechanic coupled with inside information and public information. What you're trying to do is use that information and build a stock portfolio to end up with the most money. Let's take a look at this game, how it's played, and I'll come back and I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, I have Stockpile set up for 3 players, and I quickly want to go over the components that come in the game. The first thing we have is our game board in the center here, and it's a 2-sided game board, so there's going to be some information that's going to be important right off the bat. This pen right here is going to tell us that this is a standard game, and this is the stock ticker information, where the values are going to be determined for the different stocks. Now, this is the standard side of the board, and we can also flip this over and play the advanced side of the board, and all of these different companies are going to react in different ways. And I'll talk more about this at the end and in my review. But for the purpose of this review, we're going to use the standard side of the game board. Up at the top is going to be our round tracker. Depending upon the number of players, we're going to place our round track starting marker on it, and we'll use it to count down. So for a 3-player game, it starts off at 7, so there will be 7 rounds for the game. As each round goes by, we will move this down and use it to count down. Over on this side of the board where it says financial forecast, there's going to be information placed here that is going to be some public information and some hidden information that is going to talk about what is going to happen with these different companies. And then finally, down at the bottom where these calculators are, we're going to build stockpiles of cards which we will be bidding on to take into our possession. And so depending upon the number of players, there will be a different number of stockpiles being built. Each player is going to receive their own player stock portfolio board, and on the side, if we look here, is a built-in player reference card. This is going to tell us what all the phases are for the game. And then also there's some information where it says forecast values. This is going to tell you what different types of information is going to be coming out and what's going to happen to the different stocks. We'll put our normal stock certificates on this side here where it says stock portfolio, and then if the stocks happen to split, we will move them over onto this other side of the player board. Each player will receive one in different colors. They're also going to receive their bidding meeple, which they will use for auctioning. At the beginning of the game, each player is going to receive $20,000 in money, and the nice thing is all of the money are used in these cards up at the top, so very, very nice. It's not paper money. Each player is also going to receive one starting stock certificate. What we do at setup is take one of each of the companies, we shuffle them up, deal one to each player, and then whichever ones are left over, they get shuffled back in. At the beginning of the game, all of these, there's going to be some markers that will be placed for the values of each of the companies, and at the beginning of the game, they are all placed where the circle marker is, which is 5 for this particular round. So everything is going to start off right in the middle, and we are getting ready to actually start playing the game. So we're set up. The person who paid the most for their previous meal will get this really cool start player token. And for the purpose of this demonstration, the purple player down here in the center will be the starting player. Now I'm going to show you one round of the game and show you how it works, all of the phases, and the game is going to then repeat for the number of rounds determined by the number of players. So the first phase of the game we're going to go into is the information phase, and there are 6 company cards, and we will shuffle them up, and each player is going to be dealt one card face down. There will be one that is going to be placed face up that everybody will know, so this one happens to be Leading Laboratories, and any remaining cards will be placed face down off to the side of the board as well, which will be information that nobody knows about. Next, we're going to take one of these forecast cards, and we'll deal one face down to each player. One will be dealt face up, and any remaining ones will be placed face down off to the side. Now, the different things that are going to happen to these stocks, they may increase in value, they may decrease in value, or they may pay dividends. So with the purple player, we're starting off, we have one certificate of American Automotive, and right now the value is $5,000. And if we look, we have some information that is inside information. Tells us here Epic Electric is going to decrease in value by 3. So this is something that we are going to want to use to our advantage, to either make the most of an opportunity or cause our opponents to perhaps make a mistake. So it's all going to come down to the next phase of the game. Each of the other players has their own bit of inside information, and we also have this public information here. The next phase of the game is going to be the supply phase. And what we are going to do is we are going to start getting some cards dealt to us. So what is going to happen is we will start building these stockpiles. So the first thing we will do is we will deal one card face up for each of the spaces depending upon the number of players. So we have a 3-player game. We're going to use these 3 spaces, and what I'm going to do is slide over some of these player boards so that I have room down at the bottom so that we can build our stockpiles. So we have different types of cards. We have some action cards and we have some stock certificates. We have this one called trading fees. This can be nasty. Whoever wins that pile is going to end up having to pay some money. And we have 1 share of Stanford Steel, and we have 1 bottom line bank. Now the next thing that we're going to do is each player is going to be dealt 2 cards face down in front of them. And what we will do is we're going to look at them. And so for the purple player, we have a Cosmic Computers and we have a Stock Bust, which is an action card. Now, starting with the first player and going around, each player is going to place their cards, the 2 cards, onto these stockpiles to build them. So the way this is going to go is we will place 1 card face down and the other one face up, and we can place them on any of these piles depending upon the number of players. So depending upon the information that we know and different things we want to do, this is a pretty powerful card. We may not want to have somebody get this right away. Maybe we want it for ourselves, but maybe we want to make Cosmic Computers look enticing, and we're going to place this on this trading fees face up and the other one face down. And each of the other players are going to do different information as well. And you could place them on the same piles if you choose to. So we're going to place this one down and this one face up. So each of the players have placed their cards and built their stockpiles. Starting with the first player, they're going to take their bidding meeple, and let me zoom in so you can see the bidding track on each of these. So if you can see, there are different bidding spaces that we are going to place our meeples on and trying to win these different stockpiles. So we're going to look at the information that we have, see if there's anything that we want to use to our advantage or things that we might be interested in, and maybe this looks pretty good to us, so we may decide, well, you know what, I'll just start it off at 0 and I'll place my bidding meeple on that space. And the other players are going to, in turn, do they're going to place their meeples as well. Maybe the yellow player is interested in this, so what they're going to do is they're going to place their meeple there. And the third player will then decide to bid on something else. Maybe they want this one. So what's going to happen now is this one, since the bid is higher, this is going to come back to the purple player. And they, in turn, now will be able to replace their meeple. Maybe they're interested in this one again, and so they're going to place it for 3. This will go back to the yellow player. And we're going to continue bidding. Maybe they're interested in this one now, 4,000. This green player goes back, and they decide, okay, I'll just bid on this one. We're going to go through and continue this auctioning process until each player is alone on their own stockpile. What's going to happen is each player will then pay for that stack and take it in front of them. If there are any cards with trading fees, they will have to pay them as well. So this yellow player is going to have to pay $1,000 for their bid plus a $3,000 trading fee. So they will pay $4,000 from their hand to the bank. and they're going to take their cards and they're going to take them into their possession. This trading fees is going to be discarded, and the other 2 cards are then going to go into their stock portfolio face down. The green player didn't have to pay anything, so they're going to get all of their cards for free and go into their possession. And finally, the purple player, we will have to pay a total of $5,000. We have a $3,000 bid and $2,000 trading fee. So we'll pay our $5,000 to the bank. The trading fees are taken care of, and these now go into our portfolio. Now the next phase that we're going to go into is called the action phase. And this is the opportunity to play any action cards that we may have acquired. And so the green player happens to have this stock bust, and they're going to choose to play it now. And by playing it, they can choose any stock that they want, and they want to drive the value down. Well, we know their information says Bottom Line Bank is going to pay dividends, which we didn't really know that, but we're also looking at the different cards that they have in their possession. We have American Automotive, we have Stanford Steel, we have Epic Electric, and maybe they decide that they don't want to drive the value down on any of those, so they're going to decide to make Cosmic Computers go down. So they'll move the value down 2 spaces and discard this. And the other players will be able to play their action cards as well. And once we've done that, we are going to move on to the next phase, which is the selling phase. Each player then has the opportunity to sell any shares of their stock that they wish to get rid of. Now the purple player has a couple shares of Bottom Line Bank and American Automotive, and maybe they decide, you know what, I'm going to sell this 1 share of American Automotive. So they will discard that and they will collect whatever it's worth, so $5,000. Each of the other players will have a chance to do the same bit of information. They can sell their stocks. Once we've completed that phase, we're going to actually go into the movement phase, and this is going to be where we resolve all of the different stock values. So starting with the first player, we're going to reveal Epic Electric is going to go down 3. So 1, 2, 3. Epic Electric moves down 3. The yellow player's information is American Automotive is going to go down 2. So that was actually a good move to sell that stock before it dropped in value. The green player's information says that Bottom Line Bank is going to pay dividends. Now, anybody that is holding any shares of Bottom Line Bank can reveal them and collect $2,000 per share for the Bottom Line Bank. Now, you have the option of passing on dividends by not revealing them, so the other players don't know what stocks you are, if you are holding on to any shares of there. But if you decide to, you reveal the cards to your opponents, and you will collect $2,000 for each share. So the yellow player decides, you know what, I'm going to reveal I have 2 shares of Bottom Line Bank, and they will collect $4,000 from the bank and put it into their pile. The next thing is Leading Laboratories is going to increase in value 1. And now we have some more unknown information off to the side. We'll scroll over here so we can see. The next thing is Stanford Steel is going to increase by 4. So it would go up 4 spaces. And we have Cosmic Computers is going to go up 2. So we go ahead and we move all of the different values on here. And so we know what is going to be the values of the stocks for the next round. Now there's some information that I do want to show with you on the board. If we play an increase value, let's say for the next round, that Stanford Steel again increases by 4. It's going to move up 2 spaces, and it's going to hit this octagon where it splits. Anybody that is holding shares of Stanford Steel, for example, this player over here, will move it from their regular side of their stock board over onto the split pile, and it will be worth double in their values. Now, this increased 2 spaces. It's going to go back to this octagon space and continue to move 3, 4. So it's going to continue to move up again. Really a neat mechanic in here that the stock is going to split and continue to increase in value. On the flip side, if a stock decreases decreases down to this trash can where it busts. Any player that has those stock certificates will discard all of them, and then the value will then go back to the 5. It will not continue to decrease, only on the increase when it splits. So those are some important information to know about this. If it busts, you lose everything. If it splits, it continues to increase. Now, the other neat thing is if you have cards already in your stockpile, your split stock portfolio, and it splits again, you're going to get $10,000 per share that's already split. So you're going to get a bonus that way. So little bits of information of how the market reacts. And then what's going to happen at the end of the round, each player is going to take their bidding meeples back. We will move the start player token over to the next player on the left, and we're going to continue to do this for the next round until the end of the game. At the final round of the game, what we will do is we will sell off any of our shares of stock that we have in our portfolio and add up the money value. Whoever has the most money is the winner. Okay, let's quickly talk about the advanced board. And on the advanced board, there's a couple of changes to the rules. First of all, when it comes to the movement phase, and we have players revealing their stock information, for example, here Epic Electric is going to drop 2 shares, or 2 spaces, 1, 2. And we'll just go ahead and resolve all of these. Stanford Steel is going to pay dividends, and American Automotive is going to go up by 1, and we have Bottom Line Bank is going to drop 3. Again, we're going to have it bust, and it's going to go back to this value here. And finally, we have Cosmic Computers is going to increase by 4. We go 1, 2, it's going to split, and it's going to go back to here, and unlike the normal game, it's not going to continue to increase. This happens to be a very volatile stock, and if you have a couple of rounds, it's going to be crazy. So one of the rules in the advanced board is that it is not going to continue to increase once it splits. Also, looking at this board here, that there is different tracks for each of the companies, and they all are going to respond differently. Cosmic Computers has a range of 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and then it splits. We don't have very much range. We have Leading Laboratories, which is going to act normally. Stanford Steel is an interesting company that on the game board there are some spaces that have little dollar signs on there, and what is going to happen is when the value increases, each time we land on or we pass a space that has a little dollar sign, it is going to pay the dividends, and they're going to be $1,000 dividends. There is a double dividend up towards the top prior to it splitting, in which you are going to receive you'll get $2,000 then per share. So something a little bit different about the advanced board. Now, one of the other things that's included with Stockpile is the investor expansion. There's a bunch of different cards that each player is going to receive. They will be dealt 2, and they're going to choose 1. And on the cards, there will be the starting amount of money that you have. And down at the bottom will be any special abilities. So for example, here, Billionaire Bill is going to start off with $32,000, but he doesn't have any special abilities. We look at Broker Bernie, and he starts with $16,000, and he'll have his own special abilities. Crazy Kramer starts off with $18,000, and so each of these different ones will have a different ability. For example, May Know Martha, she starts off with $22,000, and each turn she can look at another player's their forecast cards, and she'll have even more inside information. So something that can be added to the game to add a little bit of extra flavor as well. And so overall, this is Stockpile. Alright, so you had a chance to see how Stockpile is played, and let's talk about it. And the first thing that I want to talk about is the production quality. They did a really nice job with this game, and really sturdy box. We've got good quality cards stock in here. We've got a nice player board in here. The use of cards for money is a big, huge positive for me. Two-sided player board, or two-sided game board, I'm sorry, which I'll talk about in a minute. And one of the really nice things is that on the player boards, that essentially there was no need for a player reference card because the information is subtly placed right on the board, so it doesn't stand out, yet you have all the information that you need for playing the game right here. There is an insert inside of here that is very well done, holds everything. And there's actually some room in there that I saw some questions on the Board Game Geek forums for Stockpile that there is a future expansion that they have planned for this, so that's very cool. One complaint though with this is the space where the game board fits in is not cut square. It's like a chamfered edge, and so the board does not lay flat in there. So that was one thing that that I had seen in a couple copies of the game. So when you open up yours and you see that, that is going to be something that you can know ahead of time. Now, let's talk about the game itself. First of all, this rule book is super well written, has lots of great examples in here, explains everything. You will be up and ready to play after browsing through this one time. On the back side is a nice rule summary, so you can just leave this out on the table, and actually after you play the game one time, you'll never have to look at it ever again. When we get into the gameplay itself, there are lots of cool things about this game that I want to talk about. And the first thing is looking at this game, even from a family perspective, right off the bat, we're going to talk two things that stand out to me. Number one, the time to play this game. We're playing a stock market game, and even with 5 players, this game is going to clock in at under an hour. You're looking at probably 50 minutes tops to play this game. And also, during the course of the game, there is always something that's going on, and so the players are going to be engaged the whole time. So if you're playing with kids, even like at the younger age spectrum here, playing a game that like 10-year-olds, 10, 11, 12-year-olds with this game, that they are going to be able to have their attention captured playing this game. So those are two things that really, really stand out to me. Then we get into the game. It does a really, really good job of portraying the stock market action. We see stocks going up and down, and also what our job is in the game to build our portfolio using information that is both inside information that nobody else knows, and using the information that's public information. When you're playing the game, you're going to use that information to your best ability, and that's going to be trying to maybe bluff your opponents, or you may want to give out certain information, maybe pull off a few stunts to make your players, make the other players sell all their stock, because maybe you sell a couple shares but you're holding some other things knowing that it's going to go up and you're going to cause them to dump everything. Maybe it's going to split. Something really, really, some neat things that you can do with the information that you know. I like the auction mechanic in this game, and essentially the bidding is going to go around until everybody gets something. So there's going to be nobody shut out of an auction, and you're going to have those cards. And building those stockpiles is really an interesting way to do things, placing one card face up and one card face down. And so you have some manipulation of building those piles, and you can do it in such a way that maybe there's things that you wanted in your own auction, or you can bury some other things and make it look like it's appealing to somebody else and cause them to have to pay a bunch of trading fees. So some really, really little neat nuances in the game. Now, the one thing that makes this game really, really stand out to me is that you're going to want to get off of this the standard board and go to the advanced board as soon as possible, because it changes the whole game. I found when playing the standard game, as we were acquiring these different stock certificates, it was, you had a lot of time for things to happen, for the stocks to increase or decrease in value, and so you could pick and choose when to sell them, and you could hold on to them for a longer time, it seemed like. And so that's okay, but man, when you flip over to the advanced board, each of the different stocks act in different ways. Cosmic Computers is extremely volatile, and so if you start building up shares with those, you're not going. There's this risk of you're not going to want to hold on to them a long time. You're going to be choosing more times to sell them. And you have a couple of other companies then that you have a longer track of time where they increase in value. If you look at Stanford Steel, it has a range of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10 spaces where it can go up and down, and the value goes from 1 to 5. So you can allow for this this fluctuation of it moves down 3. Well, you can afford to do that because it's not going to really affect the values of it. And so it really changes the gameplay, and it really makes you think more about holding on to certain stocks that you can afford to ride the wave of volatility as well. Whereas some of the other ones, you're not going to want to hold on to them because you're going to risk busting. Although the reward of it splitting is also good too. So definitely, I think the advanced board does a greater job of portraying the stock market, and so I want to recommend that if you play it, get onto that as soon as possible. Now, the investor cards that come in, to be honest with you, I've tried them one time, and they're okay. It does then give everybody a different starting amount of money and different abilities, and so it changes up the gameplay. And I would say that you don't introduce these until you've played the game a few times, so that you have a grasp of understanding how the game is played, and develop a strategy before you throw the wrench in here of, oh, well, now this guy gets to do this and this guy gets to do this, because it will change the game again even more. But overall, Stockpile is a game that I really, really like. I think that, again, the game gives a good idea of understanding the stock market and the information, what happens, and then helping you to make decisions of when you're going to buy, when you're going to sell your shares. Not when you're going to buy. Well, you will buy in and during the auction, but when are you going to sell your shares and try to make the most money? So overall, this is a really big hit. Something that I would definitely recommend. This is a lot of fun. I love the fact that it plays in such a short amount of time and gives a really, really satisfying experience. And it plays well with all the player counts, although I really, really like this one with 4 or 5 players. I just think that gives the game the most excitement. So that's Stockpile from Nauvoo Games, and if you're interested in more information about the game, I'll have some stuff in the video description below. You can go ahead and click on that. And if you're interested in more of my videos and what I'm doing, you can go ahead and click on the subscribe link, and that would be awesome. Also, if you'd like to have more information about what I'm doing or keep track of different things that I post, I have all the information in the description below. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We do all that, and then also use Periscope to do some live feeds, so you can go ahead and follow me on that as well. And I'll have all that information in the video description below. Also, if you're interested in supporting this project, I do have a Patreon account. You can go ahead and check that out as well. All right, thank you for watching, and join me again next time as we take a look at another game and see how it makes it to the table. Bye-bye.